Have you ever wondered if there is a pill or a substance that you could take?
Actually, I've been thinking about a neuroscience cocktail.
Ooh, neurochemical cocktail. I like it. But have you ever wondered if there was something that you could take that could dramatically like boost your productivity, your creativity, like your focus and everything? And if you could, like, think about how much that would be worth for business owners. Like millions, hundreds of millions.
I'd probably do it hour based. You know, if I built that pill, I'd be like, you take this, $1,000 an hour, yeah,
$1,000 an hour.
Yeah, you're locked in.
But what would you get out of that hour? Would you get like 2, 3, 4, 5 times the output?
10x.
10x
output, yeah.
10x output. Okay, that's pretty cool. Well, what if we said that this is actually possible, but you didn't have to take a pill?
Really?
Yes. So guess what? That's what we're going to talk about today.
Welcome back to another episode of BizMeds. We are your hosts and neuroscience business coaches. My name is Saad.
And my name is Darius. We're here to give you the minimum effective dose for your business. And today that's all about the $1 billion neurochemical cocktail. It's already in your brain. And how do you access it? Well, guess what? This is from scaling $30 million in 18 months. We're going to give you the secrets on how you do that. So let's fucking dive into it today.
Let's go.
Get at it. So yeah, there's if anyone has ever watched the movie Limitless, Bradley Cooper's character is literally, he meets up with his buddy or an old acquaintance, and he gives him this pill called NZT, and suddenly he's like locked in. He's so focused. He's so successful. He can learn faster than he's ever have. He wrote his book faster. He can recall memories from things before. Right. His creativity, productivity is just absolutely off the charts. Yeah. Right.
And it basically, does it improve his cognitive ability, or what is it, like a caffeine pill? Tell us a little bit more about that.
I mean, specifically what? I have no idea. Right. All we know from the movie is that it basically unlocks parts of the brain that have, long thought to be, this whole idea. You only use 10% of your brain or your conscious brain, whatever they say it is, right?
Or something like that.
Yeah. And it's like, it's, I guess what, you're using all your brain all the time.
Yeah.
But it's, it's divided into different parts.
Yeah.
And so you have your conscious brain, which can take in so much information, but you have your subconscious, which takes in a lot more, has a lot more bandwidth, right? So, but basically what we're saying is, hey,
you have access to all of it.
You have access to so much more of your brain than you thought possible. The problem is you just don't know how to use your brain to access it. And we've been conditioned, we've been molded, we've been lied to, we've been, basically turned into a lot of mindless people running around, addicted to our devices.
Yeah.
And because of that, we don't access these higher states than we used to. Instead, we just kind of run around and we feel like, hey, I never have time for anything. I don't have time to accomplish all these things because I'm running around. I'm answering all these emails. I'm meeting with all these people. I'm trying to get those things done. And as a result, you get nothing done.
Just cluttered. It sounds like it's just like a bunch of shit that you're doing all at once.
Yeah.
Cluttered. Yeah.
Just a bunch of hot garbage.
Yeah.
You're just doing hot garbage. Yeah. We're not here about hot garbage.
Eau de garbage fragrance.
Eau de garbage.
Eau de garbage fragrance.
So yeah, like honestly, we say that, but it really is, what is the actual neurochemical cocktail?
Okay.
What is it? Come on, Saad. Tell us what it is. You know what it is.
Well, I think it's a formula. Of doing a bunch of different things at unlock the ability, like we're talking about, to lock in. That was the only thing I could think of. It's like it's literally the ability to focus and lock in.
Yeah, which is honestly just flow state, right?
Yes.
It's achieving flow state. That's all we're talking about. And we'll say it till we're blue in the face. We will say it till we're blue in the fucking face that it is all about flow state. If you have ever been frustrated that you're not getting where you need to go fast enough, it's like, it is flow state because you don't know how to access that higher state, that state where you're so focused and dialed in and in control of everything because you've
never had to, try it.
or you've never experienced it, or you didn't know that what you were experiencing at the time was flow state, and that there is a formula for it, as you just said. Wonderful. Is that there is a very, like, you just follow the formula, and guess what? You'll get into flow.
Exactly.
And then with that, your neurochemical cocktail, which is worth billions and billions of dollars, will be your biology be working for you, not against you.
Exactly.
And you'll build that amazing skill. So you'll be like Eddie in Limitless.
Yeah.
You can write a book in record time.
Yep.
Right. You can literally, there's story after story of people like writing books, creating or completing massive PhD papers in record amounts of time using tapping into flow state.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Hey, it's so fucking valuable that we created a whole flagship program around flow state called the 1 month day. Right? We should call it like your NZT day or something like that.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, your neurochemical cocktail. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, because at the end of the day, like, well, let's talk about it. The very simple flow cycle, it's just a cycle, is struggle, release, flow, recovery.
Yeah.
Simple. Like, it's only 4 things. But the most important part of that, it is a cycle. You can't live in a like full on flow state all the time.
Yeah.
You just can't. Your body, you have neurochemicals in your brain. So you have your dopamine, your oxytocin, norepinephrine. You have a whole host of neurochemicals all coming together at the same time to basically interact when you're in a focused flow state that are going to amplify learning ability. It's going to amplify your creativity. It's going to amplify your productivity, all these things that you don't normally have access to. It'll quiet down parts of the brain. It'll unlock others because you're in that state. So those neurochemicals all come together in that state. Now, what's really important to that is you have to know what are the things that will help you get into flow, right? So flow triggers. But more importantly, you also have to know the things that are going to keep you out of flow, which are your flow blockers. Like, this is all, like, we say that, and we probably oversimplifying it, but the whole idea is, or the real thing, or the reason we talk about this is because your brain is so much more powerful than you even realize.
Yeah. Yeah. I like to use the example of like driving on a highway versus driving on like a back road where you've got to stop every 10 minutes or 10 meters or whatever.
Yeah.
Like you got to road stop that. So you're never getting the proper runway, the flow of your vehicle, cruising on a higher level and making a lot of strides.
Yeah. You can let's just say you have a Ferrari. You can take it out and you can drive down the city street and you're basically stopping every block.
Yeah.
Cool. You'll never, like, that is the equivalent of what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Right? It's like you take your Ferrari out, that thing is capable of massive amounts of speed. Or your Bugatti.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. You can go epically fast in these machines.
Yeah.
In a very short period of time.
Yeah.
But guess what? If you're driving around the city, you're going, stop. You wrap it up, stop. Versus you get out on not even just a highway, let's just say like the Autobahn or the Autostrada, where it's like you don't have a speed limit. There's no stop signs. Yeah. You have, let's just say 8 lanes of traffic wide. You can just hammer and you can go.
Yeah.
That's the difference we're talking about here, right? Because your brain is that Bugatti, it's that Ferrari.
Yeah.
But you treat it like it's a bicycle.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Or you treat it like you're out walking.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it feels really cool taking your super, powerful engine onto a back street, but you're not getting the value out of it.
Yeah.
And you're never going to be able to like take it to its limits without, having that runway. So that's basically the Ferrari is your brain, but you're constantly going on back streets and it's taking you forever to even get the value out of it. And you're constantly gassing out because, you're wasting gas doing non-productive stuff.
Yeah. And you're hitting the brakes.
Yeah. You're hitting the brakes.
You're accelerating, hit the brakes. Accelerate, hit the brakes. Accelerate, hit the brakes. And your brakes wear out. Everything gets worn out so much faster, than like get on the highway. Again, one of the reasons I love taking the motorcycle out is because, hey, I'll take it to the track because then I don't have to worry. Like, that's what it's made to do. Right? I'm not stop, go. I can go full out on that thing and get into flow. It's basically the same thing.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
So, I mean, man, I don't know what else I want to go into this one. Like there's so much inflow that I don't know where do we want to go with this one?
Well, so we've previously talked a little bit about NZT and like the correlation to flow.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit more about like how people. Let's talk a bit more about like the flow blockers and the flow triggers.
Okay.
Mostly because like again, we use the example of the Ferrari and constantly stopping and going. But in the business, like how do we continue keeping that momentum when you get into flow and understanding that you're actually in flow and utilizing it?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think this is actually the biggest flow blocker and flow trigger is it's the inversion of one, and it's distraction. Mm-hmm. So we say flow follows focus. Yeah. But you can't be focused if you're distracted. And so you can't get into flow if you're not focused because you're distracted. So the biggest flow blocker you have, one of them is distraction. And that can be external or internal. Yeah. So if you are in an environment where you have a lot of stuff going on, people come and bother you, and that like you're not going to get very focused because you have just so many distractions. Yeah. And then there's the whole environment of like even your environment, your surroundings, right? So we talk about sensory gating, like how do you like noise canceling headphones, right? Mm-hmm. Kind of like remove all the distractions. Like when we prepare for 1 month day full block, we remove everything off your desk that's not pertinent. All the things we just clear as much of that stuff as possible, and then what you're left with is more often than not. It's even like your cell phone, your devices, even things on your computer. So it's like turn off your email, turn off your notifications, all those things. Like during, if you want to get into a flow state, turn off your phone. Go put it upstairs, put it somewhere else where you can't have access to it. Turn off all your notifications, everything that's going to bother you. Close your blinds. All those things, right? So that you have as little as possible kind of to distract you. Mm-hmm. And then at that point, you're just dealing with kind of like your internal distraction. So it's like your thought process. And if you've never spent any time doing any type of like mindfulness or meditation, then if you ever do, then you realize like how fast your brain goes and jumps from thing to thing to thing, and how much you're probably your own worst enemy for being distracted. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I mean, take our podcast, for example, like, there's no distractions back here. We got a little bit of red light and mics and just our knowledge and our words. So the whole goal is like we want you to be able to listen to sweet voices. Is to be able to listen and understand what we're talking about. So there's no other distractions. And that's the same thing when you're trying to get into flow. Like if you've never actually taken 10 to 15 minutes just to sit there and be by yourself and just only listen to how quickly your brain jumps from thought to thought to thought, you'll never appreciate what it means to be to be like perpetually distracted. Yes. So big huge flow blocker because you are more distracted than you ever even realize. Yeah. So how do you even get it to a state that you can, like you'll never, or how do you even envision taking the Ferrari out on a really, really fast drive if all you've ever done is kind of like just start, stop all the time. Exactly. Right? Yeah. Oh, what's that? Yeah. You know? So we have to remove distractions as much as possible. And by doing that, right, then we're able to help ourselves become more focused. Is that the only thing? No. So the other thing is really clear goals are great flow triggers, right? So if you want to be able to do something, you have to know exactly kind of what you're doing and have really clear goals associated with getting into flow. So we remove distraction on one side and we kind of like repurpose that energy, but then we have to put it into something. And what's the one thing we can focus on? So a very clear goal will help us drive more focus into that. And then the more focus we have, the more flow we should get. Yeah, exactly. Like those are just some of the really, I think, you know what, next thing we should do is, I think in another episode, we'll revisit flow blockers and flow triggers again.
Yeah.
I think it's
because it's a topic on its own. There's so much we can talk about.
There's lots. And then there's group flow. We won't really go into that, but we can go dive into more of the triggers and more of the blockers.
Yeah.
And then there's a lot. And that's the thing. So if, recovery is going to be one. So if your neurochemicals aren't recharged, like that's going to, like if you're not feeling well, all those things, like those physically will block you from getting into flow because you're not feeling well. You're not really primed to go in. You can still do it. It's not going to be great.
Yeah.
You know, more triggers. Like there's just
so
challenge. I'll say this one it's actually a challenge skill ratio where a lot of times we don't get into flow is because the challenge is too much. We actually try to do something just beyond like too much, too difficult. And so what that does is it makes us frustrated or overwhelmed because we're not getting it. And so that becomes a flow blocker.
Yeah.
Right. And there's a actual very specific percentage for most people that you should be aiming for. I'll just tell you, it's 6%. It's a 6% challenge that you want. It's not 100%. You want something so hard that you just never get it. But then you don't want something so easy that's not even challenging. You don't get into flow.
Well, we didn't use any gym examples in our last week's episode.
We didn't?
No, we didn't. So I'm going to use one. It's the same thing at the gym. Like whenever you're doing an incremental increase through to like continue growing, get stronger or whatever, you don't do like a 20% increase. You do like anywhere between 5 to 10%.
Yeah, it's that whole idea of
progressive overload.
Yeah, progressive overload. It's exactly. Thank you for you knew exactly where my brain was going. Progressive overload, and it's maybe it's one rep.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's again that 5 to 10%.
It could be weight. Yeah, it could be rep.
Yeah.
Like this is the same thing. Yeah.
And that is you're growing, but you're not going to go in like, oh, I benched 250 last week. I'm going to bench 500 this week.
Exactly. I can double it up.
Yeah. Well, are you going to most likely hurt yourself?
Exactly.
So
you in hell, buddy.
Yeah. So really, and we'll go back to it. It's like that whole flow state is such a monumental. That's why we spend so much fucking time talking about flow state. Is because it's the skill that you don't realize you're missing because it could give you so much. And you'd much rather struggle doing a million things that don't fucking work, trying to convince yourself that that's the thing that's going to help you. Mm-hmm. And so as a result, you just fail at everything versus learning the skill of flow state and condensing time frames. Flow state it's so powerful for you that you're going to condense timeframes so much faster than you ever thought possible. Mm-hmm. And you're not going to spend time wasting energy and resources on stuff that doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. And really, like that neurochemical or that physiological state that you become in flow state is literally worth billions of dollars. And if you could bottle it up, that's what it'd be worth.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And it's the same thing where, there's people that don't have purpose. If they would pay an arm, like they would lose an arm and a leg to find purpose. Mm-hmm. Now, like if you switch it to like being able to do 10x what you could, like it's always the opposite of like what you can't do right now. The problem people don't realize is that you actually can do it, just requires a little bit of work. And if I could promise you tomorrow that you could do this tomorrow, would you be willing to do it? Absolutely. But if I said you actually got to stay up all night tonight prepping for it for tomorrow, now I'm going to start losing certain people because they're like, I still want my 10 hours.
By the way, you don't have to stay up all night prepping.
No, you don't have to.
We want you to sleep way before.
I'm just making a correlation on like sacrifices that are required to be able to win. Because, again, it's not an easy road. Not everybody's going to be able to cross that road.
Which is why most people that listen to this will just brush over it. Yeah. And that's okay because we're not talking to you.
But those exact same people will come across what we've been talking about on a different video where somebody else is saying it's something in a different format, but the message is exactly the same. Yeah. They're going to be like, oh, my God, this is the best thing ever.
Which is great.
So much more sense.
Which is fantastic. That's what we want. This is why we're here. We understand, like not everyone's going to resonate with the message, but for those of you who are looking for and hear this message that are like, hey, I think I'm missing this, 100% you're missing out on flow state and what that actually means. Because, and I'll challenge you, like, watch the movie Limitless, watch it.
Yep.
And get an idea. Like, I think it's the closest idea you can to like what flow state is all about. Absolutely. And if you've never experienced flow state, just think back to a time where just the world just seemed to like stand still, that you were just like, time just seemed to like warp. Whether it was fast or slow, it doesn't really matter, but you were just so in the moment and things were just flowy, right? Like that, we can apply that to business.
Yeah. Just watch the trailer. It's going to get you interested enough to watch the movie.
Yeah.
That's an easy ask.
Become limitless.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're your neuroscience business coaches. My name is Darius.
And I'm Saad.
And today we did talk about the $1 billion neurochemical cocktail already available in your brain. You just have to learn how to get into that state, which is flow state. And guess what? If you want help with that, just literally sign for the masterclass. It's the first way to deal with your flow blockers to get into it. So that's why we provided that, and it's free. So just sign up for it, but it'll be the first thing to help you prime you to get you ready for flow state. If you've been with us since the beginning, thank you. If you just joined us, thank you. My mom, thank you. Sa's mom, love you. Thank you. Sign up for the masterclass.
Yeah.
And remember, you're just one day away from the life you've always dreamed about. We're going to see you in the next episode.